Alright, hello. This is JonnyKnows here. And it's been a while since I uploaded a video, but I feel like in celebration of the 1.09 Superior AI release, and of course it's been years, I think it's about time I released a new Superior AI demonstration video. And what better way to demonstrate it than showing two of the original AIs versus the superior opposite versions. Superior mirror versions. Today, Oleg and Shinzo will be fighting against their alter egos of Oleg and Shinzo. Depending on how fast the match resolves, we might do a second match, and we might include an allied AI in there as well, along with another pairing, depending on how things go. So, I'm laughing because I just got through tons of crashes, and I finally resolved it. I did everything I needed to, I did all the work I didn't want to, and it should work this time. Otherwise, I'll rip my hair out in frustration, which is not an uncommon thing when you are making AI for Ra3. So, let's begin. We will be playing Brutals against Brutals. Random bonus crates will be on. After all, crates are a feature in 1.09. So, I have something to discuss related to 1.09. In this battle, we will be using the 1.09, the Superior AI 1.09 special power usage, now special powers. What that means is like Molotov cocktails or AK-47 if you're looking at the conscript. This could be mine mode instead of flat cannon for flak troopers. It could be sickle jumps. It could be where you shoot your proton collider, when you use your iron curtain, when to start using the secondary on the dreadnought. Cryogeddon, that type of stuff. When it comes to AI in this game, you can't really separate that, so you're sort of stuck with whatever you have it set to. So that's a little unfortunate, but that means that the original AI will get to benefit from those things. So that's what that means, if you could understand what I tried to explain there. Yeah. I'm stuttering. I'm sorry. I'm excited. I'm hoping it doesn't crash. Really nervous about that. I feel pretty confident that the Superior AI can win this battle. After all, what would I have been working on this dang mod for so long, and then they can't even beat their original counterparts? You're going to see a lot of differences between the AI, and it's going to become apparent really quickly. One of these things is, look at these burstrons. The original AI, lots of burstrons. My AI, the Superior AI, one burstron. And it's not lifting off and landing all the time. Though clearly, that's kind of working to the benefit of the AI, as it is chasing burstrons. Not quite the ideal situation. For the love of God, I hate this so much, I never figured out how to fix it. Like, I thought of a few things, but like one of the options is to just not make them use gun mode ever. You would think it would be really simple. If unit flies, then don't do this. Not so simple. It turns out that because these burstrons count as infantry, that the AI can't really ignore it. It just can't seem to differentiate that. So we can see the original AI here. This is the EA Oleg. We'll just call him Oleg. We'll call mine Superior Oleg, which will be very embarrassing if the Superior Oleg loses, considering the implications of calling it Superior. So already we can see that the original AI seems to just have way more stuff. Just way more stuff, which is actually kind of surprising. But maybe not so surprising. However, my AI has some very unique tendencies that the original AI simply just do not have. Now, we can see some harassment going down from Shinzo, but here's the Superior AI. Not quite doing the same thing, not quite having the same effect. The mass burst drones, it's coming in. It looks really good for the original AI, I'm not gonna lie. It looks really good. They have complete map control so far. They have oil control. They're about to have the only oils alive. And this is just going to keep annoying the Superior Shinzo over and over and over again. Then we see that the original Shinzo is doing some more, maybe doing some more Tengu harassment. It's kind of doing weird stuff with that. But there is a VX, which is going to help out against the non-harassing Tengus. Oh, and the superior AI are really, really cruel with those terror drones. We already see a victim from the original Oleg, who has yet to get that third refinery up. Speaking of third refineries, the superior AI are already kind of on their way there. We can see that the superior Shinzo does have a third in the water. It's been up there for a while now. And it's going for a fourth, whereas the original Shinzo doesn't even have a third, and the superior is going up to a fourth. We can see some teamwork coming in, as the superior AI versions do try to support one another. We can see that we have a bullfrog and some bears supporting here. They're working together to take down this oil, whereas the original AI are very separate, not really working well together here. We have a sudden transport, which is disguised as an enemy Tengu. The sudden transport stuff works way better than it used to with the superior AI mods. And also, you can see that the original AI are just so bad at committing to attacks. Just look at these units just crowded in this corner, not really doing anything. And even with a smaller army, or maybe not even that much smaller, the superior Oleg is already making better use of their units by being more aggressive, more committed to the attack. Though it is interesting to note that the original AI has had so much more units to work with. Like, they've been doing so much, they just have so much more units going on. I'm not sure what's up with that, actually. Actually, when it comes to Shinzo, this AI did get harassed a lot, and even the burst drones did a lot of damage with the lifting off and landing issues that are involved there. Oleg is doing so much work for Shinzo by taking out these oils. This is a little bit, probably going a little too far, but you know what? AI is going to be AI. We have a sickle going on here, but it's not really, I don't know what the heck that sickle's doing there. Oh, wow. Superior Shinzo, despite not having a third refinery yet, is actually going to tier 3. And that could spell danger for the other team here on the bottom. That fast tech. Oh no, what is going on? That is a double refinery in the water. And Superior Oleg has an Akula sub out there already. Oh, but the attack coming in from the original Oleg, overwhelming Superior Oleg. And you can see the same thing happening on the bottom for Shinzo versus Superior Shinzo. This is not looking good for the Superior team. The name is not quite living up to the expectations as you would have from an AI that is supposed to consider itself superior. Not looking good at all. Honestly, it looks really, really hard, like really, really bad for the so-called superior team. We'll just have to wait and see if the original AI can pull off, can actually finish the game while in the advantageous position, which is something superior AI will have no problem doing. Fortunately, the superior AI are just completely faltering here. I think it has to do with the unit counts. Just the original Oleg just has such a large army, but just refuses to attack. And that's just unfortunate. The AI do not like building tech structures while they're under attack. Speaking of tech structures, Superior Shinzo going for the super weapons already. We can see that that the original Shinzo isn't really doing much though. It's looking really, really rough for the Superior Oleg though, which is an AI that I would consider to be one of the stronger of the superior bunch. But it just never expanded. It just does not expand. And there's a weird bug where the structure placement shouldn't be this way, but it just seems to be bugged on this map. Anyway, Superior Shinzo is pushing forward against an AI that was just not even that long ago completely crushing him with a ton of tsunami tanks. But Oh no, the tsunami, oh, not using its secondary to crush things. I don't think that has anything to do with the original AI, but that's just unfortunate. Not quite microing the way it needs to. Oh no, but the original Oleg, despite having such an advantage, is throwing it away into these twin blades. Twin blades really carrying this match. Superior AI, despite being down, certainly not out. And we can see Superior Shinzo moving out with the Navy. He actually has so much control, already up to 4 refineries, despite losing the one in the water. The original Shinzo just is not greedy, not nearly as economical as the Superior Shinzo. Superior AI is, like, the Empire AIs for Superior AI are very infamous for just expanding and being really, really greedy. You leave them alone, if you're not attacking them, you can bet that they're probably trying to expand. And we can see another refinery core going out to expand. And the Superior Shinzo has reached tier 3. We're about to see this AI. It doesn't matter if this Oleg dies. This Shinzo is probably going to carry the whole game on its back. Empire AI from the Superior mod, once it gets going, it does not let go. It keeps going. It hits so hard with the tier 3. That doesn't mean that this match is over, though. It is certainly capable of doing some great things, but dang, his ally, this Oleg, did not pull through for him at all. This Oleg just really fell off. It didn't expand. It didn't do anything. It just kind of rolled over, and you know, it's been holding on, but and the twin blades definitely came into play. But it would appear that this AI is not doing very well, and for some reason isn't being attacked by the army right in front of it. Oh, there we go. Now he's attacking. This is looking real bad, and that MCV is not getting away. Completely stuck, and it looks like there's going to be no savior. Unless he can keep this naval yard alive and build a new MCV, this is looking so bad. We can already see some rocket angels coming in from Superior Shinzo. This match is far more interesting, and we can see that nanoswarms actually block super reactor explosions, and he just saved Oleg's forces from being hurt by it. That was not the optimum play, but he might buy his ally some time to rebuild that MCV if he has enough money to do it. Now, fortunately, Superior AI, especially of the Empire variety, are so greedy that a dead ally is probably beneficial. This AI isn't going to stop expanding. He already has another refinery core heading out onto the map. But with his ally dead, those Soviet forces from the original Oleg are going to be pushing forward, which is going to make a massive distraction. He's going to need to hurry up and take down this Shinzo in order to take down his opposing Oleg. Now, we have the MCV back in business. That is probably not where you want to place it. That is he is playing a very dangerous game here. I don't have no idea where this money went, but if he had spent this money on something else, he had 5,000 credits to build a new MCV. Will he have enough money to build a refinery? As we'll find out. No, he doesn't. He actually has to sell the naval yard. It means that he is not going to be able to build. I don't think he's going to be able to build the refinery here, especially if that power plant goes down. However, Shinzo is so far ahead in technology. Shinzo's going to have to take the entire game on his back, but with a massive Shogun army, it's looking pretty promising. The original Oleg is just not doing much anymore. Where the early game power spike was definitely there, we can see that we're not really seeing much of a follow-up. The Apocalypse tank is doing nothing in comparison to these wave forces. No match for the wave force. This looks impossible for the original Oleg to defend against. Jeez, it looked so hard for Shinzo with all the early game harassment from the Tengus, from the burst drones, but the original Shinzo just did not follow up. He had the aggression, but did not have the economy to overwhelm the Superior Shinzo. This is unexpected. To be honest, I really didn't think that this match would go down like this. I really thought the Superior Oleg would have performed way better. But that is just not what we saw. The Superior Oleg did not live up to the reputation, especially not to my expectations from what I know of that AI. That did not look very good for it. I think in the next match, we're going to have to see another round of Soviets. and it's going to be Oleg, superior Oleg again, and hopefully it'll be a better showing. You could call it a superior showing, but we can definitely see that Shinzo has held nothing back, showing the full power of the Tier 3 Empire of my mod, making nothing is being held back here. You see all these shoguns. You can see that the Nano Swarm has been used, and we're about to see that Psionic Decimator come into play in just a moment. But where will it be shot? Not here. Not here. Not here? Oh. That was not the place I thought it was going to be shot at. He went for the, he actually went for the Kula subs. And that's an interesting part. I should mention that in this new Superior AI version, the AI are so much freer to use their super weapons. They don't have to use it on high value, crazy targets, you know? They can use them on almost anything now. That means if you have only a power plant left and the AI has a super weapon, it will use it on that power plant. The original AI would not do that. They have to find a higher value target. Older Superior AI versions also had that limitation, but with some experimentation of what the game looked like when I removed those limitations, I kind of liked it. It made things a little bit less predictable, because whenever you play against the AI, you always know where it's going to hit if you've played them enough times. But yeah, this is just so many Shoguns. Unfortunately for Oleg, he could not manage to build that refinery. Luckily, his ally comes to save the day and just annihilates the original Oleg. Definitely not the best showing for the superior AI. However, Shinzo pulls through as the underdog, as the greedy empire. Just keeps moving forward. I'm surprised it's not expanding more, but he has re-expanded to the refinery that he lost, and is definitely not short on money, as he just has so many units going across the map, including another Yuriko, and there's just nothing left. Absolutely nothing left. The Shoguns made such short work of this match, as you would expect. You know, I gotta say it. The superior Oleg did not look very superior. It did not look very good. And you know what? Even the superior Shinzo was not looking too hot for a while. It looked like it was just so behind. But that, yeah, just did not look good at all. But luckily, Shinzo did pick up the slack, and it was a pretty interesting match. Unfortunately, the original Oleg, the original AI, do not close matches out as effectively as you'll see the modded AI do it. So, that was the first match. I think we have time for another one. We gotta keep the Oleg back. Empire, you've shown your stuff. It's time to move on. We're gonna look at Warren. Now, you're probably wondering, why not use the other ones? Why do we have to use Warren, not Giles or Lisette? I kind of like these AI because they're kind of the balanced type. I could switch the Soviet ones to Moskvin or Zana, but we're gonna keep it balanced, stable, simple, because this will be able to show a more broad amount of strength rather than, hey, this one's going air and that one's going air and that one's going navy. You know, like, we're gonna keep it nice and straightforward. We can see hopefully all that they have to offer. And hey, it didn't crash. That's what I like to see. I'm thinking Battle Base Octopon. This is a big map, a large map, and if there's anything Superior AI are really, really good at, is large maps. And this should hopefully display a better showing from Oleg, and we'll get to see some allied play. So let's switch Warren's color to blue. And I don't think the game will crisscross the positions, but just in case, we are going to make this we're going to select the positions on the map to look like this. So, without further ado, let's begin. Okay. So, the blue and the red are the original AIs. Keep that in mind. The superior AIs are on the bottom, And hopefully the Soviet AI can show a much better showing. I know that they can, but dang, did it get completely crushed in the last game. Now, unlike last game, we are seeing different positions here. It is not a Soviet versus Soviet and allies versus allies. It is an SVA on both sides of the map. Obviously, it won't completely play out like that. We can see superior AI only escorting the engineer with dogs. And the original AI keeping it alone. However, the way the original AI are programmed, they don't usually send them alone. If they had units out beforehand, they would have escorted the engineer with that. However, with this less escorted version, it is faster. As you can see, they both the original AIs do get the oil a bit quicker. Quite a bit quicker, actually. Whereas Superior does take a bit longer. They try to get units out before going for the engineers. Whether or not that's beneficial, not entirely sure. But I think that's what makes these matches a little bit interesting, is because the philosophies of the AI development, the way the AIs work. I would say the EA AI are so much less directed. And the modded AI are much more, like, they know, like, I gave them very particular instructions on what to do. And I think it shows. I think it shows. But it also shows in good ways. It's not just like, not just bad. It's not, it's not all bad. As you saw with the Shinzo AI, we saw a lot more from that than we saw from the Oleg AI. Now, Oleg definitely looks to be further behind in unit production. But the super reactor comes out much faster. Luckily, that dog was there to protect that engineer, which is going for the observation post. You'll see that superior AI, unlike older versions, will go for those neutral structures around the map. They will do that constantly. They will not hold back on that. They will capture everything that is capturable, as long as it's safe to do so. Classic, very classic original AI to just send engineers randomly across the map. We see some Vindicator harassment going down. But you will see that the Vindicators go for the anti-air units more than the Collectors. Actually, I think that might be the same for the original AI as well. As long as it's an available target. So it's interesting. Both teams are contesting for the middle. Superior Warren with tons of Riptides and Peacekeepers. That is a big Peacekeeper Riptide army. And we can see that the top side Warren has a lot more of a mix, a lot more War Factory going on than infantry. But Superior AI, way more infantry, and also using aircraft. This Warren is not using aircraft at all. So this is looking much better. You can see that the Superior Oleg just has a much bigger army. Now, unlike the original AI, you can see, I think you've been able to see it. Even in the last game, you can see that the superior AI will always be more aggressive and more committed to its attacks. And that makes it a more compelling AI and less frustrating to watch. I mean, it's frustrating still because they're really bad at controlling their stuff. But it's still nice to see an AI that will actually go on the offensive rather than just holding back all the time. Now, this is a lot of Riptide. This is the classic Warren experience that you would see from these AIs. Over on the other side, we can see that tons of Sickles have repelled the attack from the superior Warren. But these Vindicators are doing some damage. Warren is trying to expand over here. And Oleg, unlike last game, has expanded. Unfortunately for the original Warren, Hammer Tanks do a pretty good job at beating down Riptides. And since Superior AI actually love crushing a lot more than the original, you will see no lack of that. So this is looking a little rough for Warren, but he does have aircraft now, and that's going to help repel the attack. Oh, sorry. The attacks that Superior Warren is doing now is not working out against the mass Sickles from Oleg. This Oleg still doesn't have Tier 2, which is not looking too promising. And with that Vindicator harassment, that Sputnik might not make it. It looks like it will make it. Maybe. It's so... Oh, just a little bit of shots. Could have finished it off. But it would appear that that is not going to happen. These bullfrogs are coming in now to try to defend against the air. But it's a little too late. The entire army is gone. But you can see the original AI would have backed off way before now instead of committing to such an aggressive attack. In fact, he's still committing to the attack even at his own expense. But that's part of the superior AI experience. That's part of what the mod offers. That is how it's supposed to be felt. It may look a little pointless, but it does come into effect when an AI is so relentless. And make sure that you're never sitting still. Make sure that you're constantly engaging with the AI. And you're never going to wonder if the attack's coming. The attack will come. And whereas when you're watching the original AI, you can see that even if they have the advantage, they don't always do anything with that. And we saw that in the last match as well, with the original Oleg constantly like holding back despite having a stronger army. Which is not a problem with superior AI. But you would, but superior AI do that issue almost to a fault, as they kind of hold back. It looks like Oleg is kind of giving up on Warren, almost going down to help his ally, but changing his mind at the last second. Did I see an engineer IFE? Yeah, there it is. Now Warren, the original Warren has not expanded at all. Has he even tried? I don't see an expansion anywhere. It doesn't look like he has anything to go on with an expansion. And we can see that happening with Oleg as well. Similar problems. Now, part of the advantages of an AI that attacks so much is that it keeps the enemy at bay, and it allows them to freely expand across the map without too much interruptions. Definitely a big flaw, though, that superior Oleg definitely has that hole in the early game, where the old Oleg doesn't seem to have that problem. However, the old Oleg definitely seems to be slower on tech. In fact, much slower on tech. Superior Warren. I should have come up with a better nickname for these AI, rather than just calling them the Superior, because it's really annoying to keep saying their names with that each and every time. Yeah, one of my favorite things about my mod is, and something I've been playing my mod for years now. Whenever I play Skirmish, and I do play Skirmish every once in a while, just for fun, I always play the mod. I can't play the game without the mod. And I come to forget that in the original game, the original Skirmish, AI don't build nanoswarms and they do not build chronospheres, but they do with the mod. And though they're really hit or miss, sometimes they're really good. Like the nanoswarms, they can help a bit, but obviously not significant. After all, to use a nanoswarm, you generally have to be really thoughtful with how you use it. It's not like the best damage-based super weapon, right? It's not a damage super weapon. It's a big utility. You kind of have to shape the battlefield to whatever you want. It's a very strange super weapon, and it's really hard for an AI to use that because of its unique style of usage. Now, Superior Warren has tons of cryocopters now. Now, these are definite units that you're going to see go back and forth a lot. A lot more of that Frady Cat poke in and out style that you would see from the original AI. As it proceeds to suicide them into the enemy army. Because it keeps seeming that Warren and Oleg both are committing this crime of just sending units to their doom. But they do have superior technology. Like they have such an advantage. Their economy is much stronger. Like Superior Warren, 4 refineries. Superior Oleg, 4 refineries. Actually, Superior Oleg has 5 refineries. Never mind. And the original Oleg, despite having the opportunity to expand over here, just hasn't bothered to. Wait a second. Is that a prospector? It is. And it looks like the original Warren is going to try to expand. But it would feel quite like it is far too late for that to work, as Kirovs are looking a little hungry for some serious destruction. This is not the greatest and sneakiest flank of all. It's quite like, this is like the bad manners flank. Now you see that Superior AI don't use their Kirov boosts until they go in range of the base. They use it to close the distance, and they will not kill their own Kirovs before they reach a target. We have a Tanya. Not gonna do so well against these sickles, I'm afraid. Which is all the Soviet, which is all the original Oleg has done all game. It's just sickles, 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 and sickles. But we see a Natasha. Something that modern versions of my mod has made changes to is that the AI are much more active, and they use their commandos much more. They don't do nothing with their commandos, and they actually build commandos pretty regularly. So the Kirov attack definitely did some work. The expansion from Warren didn't quite happen. And it looks like the 2v1 is about to commence. Warren is not really doing anything. You know, I gotta say it. He has these expansions, but all he really did was lose units to sickles over and over and over again. I mean, he's put on a lot of pressure, but geez, those attacks were not looking very effective. We do see that Chronosphere and Proton Collider are up and going. That is a very dangerous play. He might kill his own Kirov with that ability. Luckily, he did not. But it would seem that Warren is mainly just settling for air units. Just going air, mass air. We have 2 airfields, sentry bombers, cryocopters, vindicators. A little bit of defenses scattered on these side bases. Oleg expands once more, increasing that refinery count to 6. Oh, here's a Sputnik from the original Oleg. They certainly were lacking in the expansions in this particular match. Not looking too, not quite what you want to see, especially from AI who gets so much extra cash. That heroic bullfrog doing some serious work. Natasha falls, unfortunately. The Kirovs continue to go around, continue to deal that damage, and the original Warren is defeated. This match looks night and day different. The original AI did not even compare at all in this particular situation. Did not look very promising. I think it's interesting, though. I haven't really watched matches like this a lot. I've tried to do it once just to see what it looked like. And it was just kind of like, okay, Superior AI won, typically. But it wasn't that, like, interesting. But I feel like I've learned a bit from watching this. And that is Superior AI tech and expand a lot more aggressively. And that leaves them with less units. Whereas the original Brutals spend more time in the early game building more units, building more forces, and that actually causes my AI, the Superior AI, to fall behind. And it just ends up looking really bad. I think I've got room for one more game. One more game. I think it's time for a 1v1. There was a good example of the super weapons being used when hardly anything was left in the base. Yeah, just look at the economic difference that occurred between the original AI just did not expand. They just did not seem to want to. Massive eco difference. It's time for a 1v1. I think we'll end it on a classic match. A very classic type of match. Allies versus Soviets. We're going to do it on Infinity Isle. What kind of, you know, it's a classic map. Everyone knows it. Everyone hates it and loves it. Very familiar to everybody. It'll be a good match, a good map to end things on. In case you're wondering, I have Fire Island and Fire Island AI Edition. There's a difference. The difference specifically is I kind of I make some of the beach unbuildable because the AI will build naval yards right next to the beach and then kind of beach their own ships. The ships will get stuck on land. This one is just an alteration to the map that I made, which was supposed to be more AI friendly. But now that I just thought about that, I realized that I don't have an Infinity Isle that's modified in the same way. I'm gonna have to use Fire Island. And just for you, I'm going to show this version of Fire Island, which is a custom version that I made just for AI to play on. Yeah, let's take a look. In this final match between Superior Warren versus the original Oleg. Now, what's going to make this interesting is that, as we've seen, the original AI built a lot more units, and Superior AI built less units. It's a very key thing. So we're going to find out just how that ends up working out in a 1v1 scenario. I'm pretty confident in the Warren, the Superior Warren. It's one of the stronger AIs in my mod. Though the mod strength seems to shift from AI to AI. from version to version, the game seems to shift the power balance. I'm not quite entirely sure why that's the case, but it does seem to be how that works. We can see that we've removed the observation posts and instead put the oils in their place. The middle of the map is a lot more open. And it has a volcano in the center. There's also garrisons as well, which are capable of holding up to 5 infantry. These are some of the main modifications to the map. I think you pretty much see it all here. One of the other modifications to the map is the mountain has been reduced a lot on these expansion spots. This is because the AI kind of had trouble navigating the map, and opening it up this way makes things a lot less confusing for the AI. Especially when it comes to structure placement. Because a lot of the AI like to expand, they like to expand with Sputniks, they like to expand with Prospectors. When the main reason I opened the map up this much, you can see that this is no longer covered nearly as much as it used to be. It's because Fire Island had infamous problems for AI, and this fixed it. This just fixes all the problems. You can see that the AI it can't build super close to the beach, so we won't have to worry about units being stuck on a beach. The AI can truly fulfill their strength. But I will say there is one oversight that I did when I made this map, and it has to do with Allied AI, and it makes the Allied AI a little bit stronger, maybe quite a bit. It's because they build the Prospector next to the ore refinery, next to the ore node, and because of that, they can build turrets throughout the middle of the map. Oh, we can see that Superior Warren has taken both oils. and is not actually ahead in the expansion game. Wait, I'm just gonna double check. Okay, it is the original Oleg versus Superior Warren. Oh look, no, Warren is expanding. And we can see that these expansions are going down. But Warren does not seem to have much to do to deal with these sickles. Luckily, Vindicators are pretty good. So these Vindicators should be able to help equal out the odds in this battle. Warren does seem to have kind of an overall, all-around approach here. And this garrison is really causing some problems for these Vindicators, because I think there's... Well, there was infantry that was shooting air units inside of it. Now this expansion is off to a slow start. After all, AI have a big issue. Whenever their base is under attack, they cancel the refineries, they cancel their tech. I think this is fixable, but it does kind of remove certain aspects of the AI. I don't know how to explain it, but I kind of want to keep it as it is, even if it looks bad. I think there is some validity to keeping it the way it is, because it's more than just canceling when under attack. There's more to it than that. It's how the AI see the upgrade as well. It's what tells them what they're building. It's what differentiates the AI from thinking, am I building a power plant? Am I building a war factory? Or am I building an upgrade? And when it's building an upgrade, it considers it tech, and when it considers it tech, it cancels it when it's under attack. But there's no off and on switch for being canceled. I would have to make it think that it's not a technology it's building anymore, and something else that's not cancelable instead. Now, you may, in case you're wondering exactly some situations why that would be a bad thing, think of it like this. If the AI doesn't cancel its tier 3, it might keep trying to go tier 3, even though it can't. So maybe it doesn't have enough money to go tier 3. Maybe the AI starts a tier 3 upgrade, but doesn't have any power. It now has to live on low power for such an immense amount of time, and it can't rebuild those power plants. Those are some situations. Now we can see that Warren has taken some serious control of the map now. I mean, as much as allies do, right? We have cryocopters, we have some tanks, and this money crate is being ignored, and this money crate is being ignored. Will we see Warren try to grab those money crates? I think he is. I think that's what this infantry is actually trying to accomplish. I think he's actually trying to grab the money crate, but I can't be certain. Ooh, the original AI have so much more range on when they try to crush with the collector. And there it is. He is actually trying to go for that money. And he gets 2,000 instead of 1,000. And we can see some more crate grabbing going on here. Because superior AI, when they see you have a water expansion, you bet that this AI is going to go for it. And there's that collector harassment. The original Oleg is getting completely bullied out of the game from these cryos, from these riptides. Warren, maybe, you know, typically for superior AI, maybe has a little bit less units in the early game, but is not letting up on that aggression. He's harassing. He's being active in the game. This is what the mod really has to offer. Now, not every AI in the mod behaves this way, but a lot of the ones that are more standard, not like rushing Kirovs or rushing super weapons or doing anything crazy like that, if they're not doing crazy stuff, you can generally count on my mod to give you AI who are going to be active in the game and actually like try to do things to win the game. And when they have the advantage, they do press it. They try to make the most of what they have, rather than just let that go. So, unfortunately for Warren, he did not get the water expansion. I suppose that's fortunate for Oleg, but Oleg is not producing anything to fight back against the allied aggressor. And I think this is this is a really good showing of the differences between the AI. Like, the allied AI really abused the allied stuff. This is exactly what you would expect from human play. Not that the AI really replicates human play, clearly, but like I've given it more direction on what is really good. And cryos are really good. Vindicators are really good. Tier 3, turns out, is really, really good. And I don't know if it'll build a naval yard, but it might. But it doesn't look like it's going to need one. And this match is not quite over yet. After all, the Oleg Oleg is building defenses and is holding on. It has 4 refineries as well. If it can get a collector, well, it does have a collector backup, but once that collector goes back to mining, it's not like out of money. It's even in economy once all the collectors are going. Pretty standard for AI in Red Alert 3 to bug out and not be able to expand to another refinery spot. Very common, and something that I've made decent efforts to fix. It definitely got better, but it did not get fixed. It got better, not fixed. Luckily, it should be just fine on 4 refineries. More than enough for an allied AI to find success. We see a Tanya drop. Not gonna work out very well. It's gonna get zapped by that Tesla coil. You generally want that Tanya to be in a less conspicuous location. The spy, disguising himself as a red spy. Not the most ingenious. Not the most ingenious thing. And that bear's gonna eat him up. That was not. Oh, look, another crate grab. If you're not gonna grab those crates, you're gonna see the superior AI grab those crates. That's one of the biggest things in 1.09. Just kind of sad. You'd think that there'd be bigger changes, but it's the little things. I would say 1.09. It's the little things that happened, and there's so many small changes and fixes that make the AI what they are. Honestly, it's not. Warren is kind of slowing down. It feels like. It doesn't feel like Warren is doing as much as he was before. But look, there's some more. They love their crates. Really love their crates. Yeah, the original AI are so sensitive with their collectors. They will go a mile away to crush or deal with something. And Warren is freezing that collector and keeping that collector from harvesting. And with a snipe on that base to the side, keeping Oleg from having too much money. Oleg still not going tier 3. Now, superior AI actually build more super reactors. The original AI do not build additional super reactors. They only build 1. This is because the original AI counts super reactors as technology. Why am I saying that word so weird? They count them as technology. I don't know why I'm saying technology. That's what the fuck? And oh no, it turns out a spy has entered his power and has shut down that power grid. And Warren has been building up some Mirage tanks. But we have yet to see any naval yard from Warren, so we're not seeing any aircraft carriers. So that's pretty good for Oleg, because I think aircraft carriers would have won the game by now. Of course, a stronger player would have won the game by now. But you can see cryo harassment, keeping that collector frozen. Alright, now it feels like Warren's back in the game. Now we got some attacks going on. We got some harassment back in here. Oleg's still not going tier 3. What's going on here? We have a flanking sentry bomber. It's not a Tanya drop. It's just a flanking sentry bomber. Is it going to hit the MCV? It looks like that's what it's going for. Oh, no, it's not. It's going to hit the anti-air instead. Not the ideal target. That's for sure. And it looks like that Vindicator will snipe the Frozen Collector. You know, I actually don't even like to mention that the AI should be doing that, because I felt like over the years of trying to make that happen that I just never saw that. Like, no matter how many times I tried, the AI just don't seem to do it. But it did it this time. Hey! Look at that. It looks like almost looks like real cryo harassment. Wow. This spy can't really do spy things unless the bear is gone. And oh, there goes the chronosphere killing something. I don't know what it targeted, but it got something. The spy kind of gave up on life after it failed to disguise. It was like, if I can't wear a disguise, what's the point? I'm just gonna stand here and get taken down. Well, the Mirage tank did find some damage. Wait a second. There's the naval yard. There's the aircraft carriers. The gloves are off. Warren is going in. Bare knuckles. Bare knuckles. The gloves are off. He's going to make them bleed now. There's nothing he's going to be able to do against these aircraft carriers. Fun fact, if you were to do this against the superior Oleg, he would actually take your carriers out with terror drones. And that's a rough one. That's a rough one. AI don't really have much of a way to deal with that. Obviously, if you're a human player, you can force fire your units with a dolphin, and you can remove terror drones that way, which I'm not entirely sure why that's allowed or why that's a thing, but you know, whatever. I mean, you can use the Stingray AoE effect to remove terror drones, right? And if you're Empire, I guess you just get Wave Force. Not quite the naval support unit, though. I don't know if a Yuriko ability removes them. I imagine it does. I would imagine so. Yeah, these attacks are not working well. We need some Athena cannons, not Mirage tanks. Athena cannons are the right choice to take down a position with 2 Tesla coils. Of course, just building up a larger army and attacking with that larger army would help as well. More sentry bombers dedicated to the attack would help, not just one at a time. But you know what? AI are not very known for being efficient, and apparently aren't really good at navigating a map, as they can't seem to get these aircraft carriers to the enemy base just yet. And here we go. Another red spy, however that works. They are supposed to disguise as enemy infantry, but it's just kind of weird. It's kind of buggy. It works the same though. The AI doesn't recognize it as an enemy unit unless he has a bear. And that spy will bribe. Oh no, he's going for the refinery this time. Oh, and he gets the money. And there goes some more units. I still don't. Oh, I think he only got like 2 conscripts. It doesn't look like it. I don't see any like tank bodies, so I'm assuming he just keeps hitting conscripts with it. Not the ideal target, that's for sure. I wonder if I could code it to target collectors as well. Did Warren use a super weapon? I think he did. I think he used it on the... I totally missed it. He used it on the... It looks like he used it on the defenses. Speaking of AI being able to not finish matches. But, you know what? He's getting there, right? He's got the aircraft carriers. It won't be much longer now. Warren seems to be completely in control. In fact, I would honestly say there was pretty much no point in this match except maybe the very first push that Warren ever was in a disadvantageous position. Maybe you could say that when Oleg was trying to go for this expansion, but like I don't know, that doesn't really count because it was countered immediately. It was just immediately countered. Tanya drop. And it looks like Tanya actually got a bunch of structures with that. Is sniping down the bears, taking down the tanks, taking down everything in sight. She's gonna get the refinery. She's gonna kill those bears. Gonna go for the collector. Oh, the bear one-shot her. Okay. I didn't think bears one. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. She must have been low on health, just enough for the bear to one-shot. She did some serious damage. She could have taken the MCV, but you know what? Warren deciding that he would just be bad-mannered, taking it easy on the opponent. Tesla Coil having an issue deciding on what type of unit to attack. And the bombing run finally takes down one of the Tesla Coils after repeated suicides. Finally getting the desired target. Another spy, actually disguised as a bear. I always find it funny, the idea of a spy disguising as an animal, because I just like imagine the spy inside of a costume. He's like running on all fours. Just to try to be a bear. Just to imitate that bear. You know, I hate to say it to Oleg, but it is far too late for crates. It is too late for crates. And that is a lot of aircraft carriers. Jesus. Oh my god, that's a lot of aircraft carriers. I don't think the sentry gun is quite the... I don't think the sentry gun was the best choice as a defensive structure for that particular moment. But there it is. So there you have it. 3 matches, and that is 3 superior AI wins. I would say that superior AI clearly doesn't win on every single front. It doesn't win in every single place, and it does have its moments where it fails. But in general, we can definitely see that the superior AI almost wins everything, right? Like, you take away in ignoring the very first part of the early game, there's not much that was put up against them, especially once the game went late. And the original AI just they don't attack as fast. They're far more afraid with their attacks. That initial Oleg attack was pretty good, but it just was not good enough. Not good enough. You know, and the money was pretty even for a lot of the match. But Warren harassed and harassed and harassed. He just kept attacking. Hardly let Oleg breathe. And then the spies start coming in, and the cryocopters are there. I mean, it took him a long time to end the match, for sure. But like Oleg, despite having some amount of economical consistency, just in the end could not match Warren. Like, think about like how he didn't even attack after that first attack, right? He never really had a force that even really compared to what Warren had. So I would say a pretty convincing amount of games for the superior AI. Shinza was the hero of the first game. Oleg almost blew it, but the Empire would prevail. And then I think the rest of the matches kind of showed a better performance from the Soviet AI. And of course, finally, we see that the Allied AI pretty much do everything you hate about allies in general. They spam cryos, they build turrets, and then they spam more cryos and build more turrets. And spies. They like spies. And you see, even the AI, even AI that generally have a bear or dog around all the time, still got infiltrated. The power got shut off. The refinery got infiltrated, probably multiple times that we just didn't see it. Sad that we didn't get to see more Athena cannons. We also got to see the crate grabbing improvements in action. Getting 2 money crates right under Oleg's nose. So the original AI do grab crates. They're just not like serious about it. Superior AI are serious about crates. They will grab crates. So if you ever create a map with crates, I guess the AI will just grab him. I don't think they discriminate against crates either. They kind of treat them all the same. They want them all. They want all the crates. Ideally, you would like to have the damaged units grab the heal crates, but there's nothing. I don't think there's anything I can do to tell the AI to use a damaged unit to grab a healing crate. Anyways, I'm feeling really tired, if you couldn't tell, as I've settled down. I'm getting really tired. I need a break. My throat's actually kind of hurting. It's been fun. I hope this is at least a decent demonstration of what the modded AI can do. For the best results, I do suggest playing 6-player maps with AI, 3v3s, massive free-for-alls. Please consider playing those type of maps with AI, because my mod works so well when there's a lot of space. Like, especially Empire AI, they just keep expanding. Soviet AI too, they expand a lot as well. Allied AI is a little bit because they have that bug where they'll sometimes collect instead of deploy, and that's seemingly unfixable. But I think my mod does it a bit better than the original. I would like to believe so. I spent a lot of time trying to find a way to make the AI not do that. And I feel like I only made it... I think I made it happen less often, but I definitely did not fix it. So... But that doesn't mean that the Allied AI are bad. And it just means that they're not as strong on the larger maps. In 1v1s, if you're interested in watching AI play against AI, there are so many AI to watch. The Allied AI are really good in 1v1s against the other AI. Just how it is. So, this is Superior AI 1.09, though technically not. Not literally, you didn't literally watch 109, but it basically is the same. Like, for all intents and purposes, it is the same. I really hope I can get uprising units implemented. I am having a lot of issues with that, and there's a lot of bugs. Like, aside from the main problems I'm having. And it's not looking too good. But I would like to do it. If I can make that happen, I will work really hard to make 1.10 a better version of the mod. In 1.10, you could expect the rest of the difficulties to be updated. Easy will become basically brutal 2. It's kind of, I thought it'd be funny to put the harder difficulty on easy. This is for people who are like, brutal is still too easy, or not challenging enough, or maybe they just want an absolute absurd challenge. Maybe they want a 2v1 with a friend against a brutal. that's like ridiculously strong. So I'm thinking of making easy and an even more wealthy brutal. And medium will become what the original game hard was. So that's like even money. And then hard will be as it is now, which is somewhere in between hard and brutal. That is what I will do for 1.10, along with adding uprising units. And since I understand a little bit more, I think I understand how to add maps to the mods. I might add some of my own maps, which I should probably try to draw some of the maps instead of using this image for them. Because I think these maps are really fun. Especially this one. This is my own personal favorite. Apparently I have some sort of narcissism problem because I keep naming things after myself. I would probably rename this just Chamber Island. I call it Chamber Island because I'm thinking of like the chamber of like a revolver gun, you know? It's like the barrel. Not the barrel, the fucking, you know what I mean. Anyways, thanks for watching. And enjoy the mod. If you want more demonstrations, I can definitely do that. I have a ton of AI I could show. I could do more AI versus AI battles. I could do anything like that. Thank you for watching.